Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great weekend, safe weekend. Let's kick it off, make it a great week, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Ask for what you want. Find the courage to ask for what you want. Others have the right to tell you yes or no, but you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everyone has the right to ask you for what they want, and you have the right to say yes or no. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We ended out up 73, NASDAQ up 44, S&P's up 8.5, gold contract down $6.50, trading at $11.97, silver off 2 pennies at $19.43, platinum down 4 at $1,331, copper, $3.30 a pound. Light sweet crude, $98.77 a barrel. You get bonds down 26. That's the 30-year at 129.15. The 10's off 10 at 123.13. King dollar down 185 ticks at 80.56. You got the euro up 26 at 136.99, and the yen is out there at 104.07. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Let's call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? We're at 1827. What you had out here last Friday, you had some really juice in the market. We did $1.9 billion. There was a rebalancing. There was option expiration. But the bottom line, folks, you get over those highs. You get over more volume. That's an A to B equals C to D. You're at 1827. That structure, A to B equals C to D, is 1834. NASDAQ, we look at the composite. Composite did the same thing. Composite gets over the high, says the juice behind the move. You're at 41.48. Now, it's interesting about the composite. That is the first A to B equals C to D right there. It's actually 4148. Gold contract, we take a look at gold. Gold came down last Thursday, got into the June 28th low, broke the low by a buck at about 10:04 Eastern Standard Time. Had lighter volume, rejected it. Bottom line, rejected it on the daily, rejected it on the weekly. Gold at this point, folks, number one has to get over this 1231. The 1231 level is the highs of the 28th. Dollar index. So we take a look at the dollar index, what we have with the dollar right now. She went topside DXH4. So we take a look at that dollar index. Dollar index right now is at 80.56. But when we start talking currencies, folks, let's go over to our man, Mr. John Logan. And, folks, over at TFNN, each and every morning, John puts a video on the right-hand side of the site at TFNN. It's absolutely free. Check it out. They're awesome videos. As you are over there, you can check out the video absolutely free. You can also test drive the signal box. John Logan, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. Good to be back. How are you today?
It's great, man. Thanks for coming on a little early. We appreciate that, man. So
no
this morning on the videos, I was watching the videos, and that's why I came to you right away, because bottom line, let's talk currencies. Because what he had out here today, folks, he had the pound, he had the euro, and he had the Aussie. Each and every day there's a free video out there. It's up there by 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as you're over there, you can test drive the signal box. And the signal box is absolutely fabulous, folks. Check it out. You're going to have a few extra hours as we are into this holiday. So let's talk currencies. What are we looking at here, John?
Okay. Well, today's video, we really just tried to cover 4 of the currencies that I feel have, a lot of liquidity and
yes,
not as much herky-jerky action that you can usually trade off technicals, and I think our information is great to be able to do that too. So what we have today, really, it's obviously the week before,
right,
week up Christmas, and
exactly.
I've always, I'm sure you feel the same way. This type of week, there's some weird movements that happen. Sometimes you don't know where they're coming from, so you kind of have to take a little bit lighter position on what you're doing if you're going to trade at all.
That's a fact. Like this is the week to take off, folks. But listen to the TFNN network. But it absolutely is. There's no doubt, man.
So it looks like we basically closed right on, a an inflection point from last week that we've been talking about literally for 2 months, the 136.98 area on the euro.
I know, folks, you have to listen to this video because, listen, we're at 136.98, folks, okay? And that's all John was talking about in the video today. I know, man. I was looking at that, and I was saying, you got to be kidding me. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Thanks. We've got to, in the euro specifically this morning, just to kind of drill down into what we're talking about here, we talked about, I call them demilitarized zones.
When I heard the DMZ, I cracked up. I know.
It's kind of that, area you got to get away from. And,
yes.
Just like the South Korea, North Korea, you don't want to be in that area. You kind of want to wait until you get either above those areas or below them. And that range right now is that 136. Let me just pinpoint it here. 136.98 down to about 136.68. So you've got a 30-tick kind of area you've got to wiggle out of to really take a position stance on it. And the good news is that our profiles really have predicated that if we're above that area, we're pretty much still in long go-go mode for the euro. And if we get down below there, we're probably not in necessarily breaking long-term uptrend mode, but we're actually compromising it, and we may be in a trading range and possibly drift down. So it kind of puts, like the 2 or 3 out of 4 odds in your favor. Hopefully, as a trader, that's kind of all you're ever looking for, and you're able to put stops accordingly around those inflection points. And if you go, just look at any of the videos that we do, but I think you've got an archive of quite a few of them actually by now. But
yes, we do.
What we do on the free one every day is we try to, point out some things that are going on that might be appropriate for some things happening in those markets that, might be something that would, lend credence to trading those that they're kind of in the news right now. So the euro, we need to kind of get away from that DMZ like we talked about. The Aussie, we've been talking about the Aussie for a while, just selling every single chance you could all the way down, literally from the 103, 106 area on a long-term basis. But when we got down into, the 90, 95, 90, 35, 90, 78 area, we talked about, okay, if we can get above there, then it might be okay to go long for a little while because we were breaching inflection points.
Okay.
And that's kind of what we preach.
Yeah.
But now that the Australian government, one thing I think me and you have learned is you cannot stand in the way of a government disposition on, they want currencies to go down, they want treasuries to go up. You can't stand in the way of those comments anymore. And the Australian government, basically, fundamentally speaking, has come out and said they think their currency is valued too high. So what does that
I want to devalue, yes.
Yes, they want it to be devalued. So you kind of have to keep that in the back of your mind and think that, there's going to be ricochet, shots up and all kinds of things that happen. But the good news is you might have something to lean on there when you come up into resistance areas or fall below them, support areas where you can actually place maybe some weight on the short side. So the Australian dollar really raced, when we started kind of breaching 92.26, we raced really basically without looking back down to that 88, 20, 30 area.
Yes.
That was the most recent lows in the past year. And we talked about in the videos, well, that's just going to happen from a stop-out standpoint for longs. And now we're kind of sitting and hovering around those lows, and that's not the type of action you want to see for reversal action.
Right.
Now, I'm going to pull up the Australian dollar on our daily grid here, and I'm actually going to look at it on our signal box at the same time.
Cool.
And what we have now, we talked this morning about a little bit of a supply that has been in the market on our daily intermediate time frame, and that low on that supply band is 88.54, and the high is on the top inflection points 89.87. So we talked this morning about, you can take a shot on trying to trade against the trend and maybe use some of our smaller term time frames on our signal box to try to guide you up a little bit. But the fact of the matter is, the long-term trend on this Australian dollar is still down. Technically speaking, we have no reason to think otherwise.
Yes.
And we've got 89.87 as the top of our box, so to speak, which is concreted in and will not change for a while on the Australian dollar, and that's our resistance level on that product.
And folks, come over to the website at TFNN. You're going to see the product right in the carousel, okay? You'll see the signal box. You can test drive it right here, right now. John, you have a great holiday, great Christmas, great New Year's, man. Of course, look forward to speaking to you.
Yep, thanks, Tom.
Thanks, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
Okay.
You stay right there, folks. Amy Smith from IBD is coming back with us.